Peppa and the Backyard Circus. Bang, bang, bang. It is a sunny day. Peppa and her friends are visiting Grandpa and Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig is using his hammer. It's a circus tent, says Peppa. Hooray! Everyone shouts. Ooh, says Peppa. Can we see the circus, Grandpa Pig? This isn't a circus tent, says Grandpa Pig. It looks like a circus tent, says Peppa. What is it? It is for Granny Pig's garden party, he says.
Wow!
Peppa doesn't know what a garden party is. Grandpa Pig tells her it's a party where grown-ups stand around and talk. It doesn't sound like fun to Peppa. She has a better idea. Let's put on our own show, says Peppa. We'll call it Peppa's Circus. Granny Pig thinks having the circus at her garden party is a very good idea.
Hooray!
Everyone wants to join the circus.
Wow!
Danny Dog wants to be the strong man. Emily Elephant wants to be the juggler. My father used to work in a circus, says Emily Elephant. He did? asked Peppa. What did he do? Peppa knows that sometimes there are elephants in the circus. He was the ticket taker, says Emily. Granny Pig brings the dress-up box. There are lots of fun things inside. Danny Dog finds polka dot shirts and a stick-on moustache. My strongman suit, he says. Peppa finds a hat. Pedro Pony finds a clown costume and a horn. Rebecca Rabbit does makeup. Hold still, Pedro, she says. Everyone is dressed and ready for the show. Grandpa, says Peppa, I don't have anything to do. Oh no. Well, you can be the ringmaster, he says. What does the ringmaster do? asked Peppa. The ringmaster is the boss, says Grandpa Pig. Peppa likes that idea. I will be the ringmaster boss, she says. Good, says Grandpa. You can say, welcome to my circus. Come and see the amazing feats of Daring Do.
Wow!
Granny's guests start to arrive. Everyone crowds inside the striped tent. Welcome to my circus, shouts Peppa. Come and see the amazing feat. The circus begins. Prepare to be scared, Peppa says. Is it a tiger? Rebecca asks. No, it's Candy Cat. Now watch the amazing cyclists. George, Richard and Edmund. Here is the strong man, Danny Dog. Danny shows his muscles. He wants to show the crowd how strong he is. He lifts Peppa. Ooh, say the crowd. Now please welcome Emily Elephant, who will juggle 2 potatoes and 1 egg. Toss, drop, toss, drop, toss. When Pedro the Clown walks into the ring, everyone laughs. Spray! Everyone laughs again. Splat! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and elephants, cats and ponies, says Peppa. Thank you for coming to my circus. The end. Peppa Pig, Grumpy Rabbit in Space. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. Today they have a special treat. Grumpy Rabbit is here to talk about space rockets. Rocket! Snorts George. Hello, everybody! Grumpy Rabbit shouts. Grumpy Rabbit has a very loud voice. He holds up a space rocket. It's a bit small, says Susie Sheep. This is just a model, explains Grumpy Rabbit. The rocket I went in was ginormous. Everyone gasps. Grumpy Rabbit has flown to the moon in a space rocket. Grumpy Rabbit lifts the rocket into the air. When you go into space, you count backwards, he says. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Peppa and her friends all shout together, blast off! There I was, flying through space, remembers Grumpy Rabbit. Ooh, say the children. When I landed on the moon, says Grumpy Rabbit, it was so beautiful I was lost for words. That sounds nice, says Madame Gazelle. Grumpy Rabbit goes on. Did you know that when you're on the moon, you can jump as high as a house? Suddenly, something strange happens. Grumpy Rabbit stops talking. Oh dear, says Madame Gazelle. He has lost his voice. Madame Gazelle asks Dr. Brown Bear to come and help Grumpy Rabbit. Dr. Brown Bear looks into Grumpy Rabbit's mouth. I see, he says. A very serious case of losing a voice. The doctor pours some special pink medicine onto his spoon. Open wide, he says. Grumpy Rabbit swallows the medicine. Try saying, ah, now, says Dr. Brown Bear. The doctor listens carefully. Ah! Booms Grumpy Rabbit. The medicine has made his voice much better. Grumpy Rabbit gets back to his story. I wrote a song on the moon, he cries. Would you like to hear it? No, thank you, says Madame Gazelle and Dr. Brown Bear. Yes, please, say the children. All together now, sings Grumpy Rabbit. I got up this morning, I went to the moon, and all I could see was the moon and the stars, the moon and the stars, the moon and the stars, the moon and the stars. Everybody loves singing along with Grumpy Rabbit. My Peppa Adventure. Which adventure will you choose for Peppa today? My Peppa Adventure. Look at the pictures on each page and choose your favourite ones to tell your own stories.
Wow!
You're going on a brilliant adventure with Peppa.
Hooray!
Where in the world do you want to go? Which of Peppa's family and friends are you going to take with you on your adventure? What will you and Peppa wear? Lunchtime.
Hooray!
What would you like to eat with Peppa? You're going on a fun adventure.
Wow!
But how will you travel there? You're having a playground adventure. What will you do there? If you could live anywhere on your adventures, where would you live? Find a fun activity to do with Peppa. Which is your favourite? Pick a musical instrument to play with Peppa. Time to shop. Which shop will you visit first? Pick a magical adventure to have with Peppa. Pick a party to go to with Peppa. It's time for a work adventure. Which job will you and Peppa do? Basketballer, artist, ballet dancer, biologist, nurse, detective, computer scientist, doctor, basketball player, potter, astronaut, builder, tennis player, yoga teacher, photographer, magician, teacher, or scientist.
Wow!
Finally, choose a muddy puddle to jump in with Peppa. Goodbye. Peppa Pig Peppa and George's Garden. Daddy Pig is sitting in his favourite sunny spot, reading a newspaper. What a perfect day for doing nothing, says Daddy Pig. The only thing that could make it better would be a cup of tea. He goes inside the house to make one. Grandpa Pig has come to see Peppa and George. You're going to have your very own flower garden, he tells them. Peppa and George are very excited. We need a nice sunny spot to plant your seeds, says Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig finds the perfect sunny spot and starts to dig Peppa and George's garden. When the garden is ready, Peppa and George will plant their seeds.
Hooray!
Oh, gasped Daddy Pig. What's going on? We're making a flower garden, says Peppa. But that's where I sit in my chair and read my newspaper, cries Daddy Pig. Flowers are more important than chairs and newspapers, says Peppa. It is time to plant the seeds. Look, Daddy, cries Peppa.
Wow.
Peppa has lots of flower seeds. George only has one flower seed, but it is a big one. Some birds have come to see what Peppa and George are doing. They start to eat the seeds. Shoo, shoo, calls Peppa. Leave our flower garden alone. Daddy Pig gets some water to help the seeds grow. As soon as they see Daddy Pig, the birds fly away. Daddy scared the birds, cheers Peppa. Grandpa Pig laughs. Daddy Pig looks like a scarecrow. Peppa, George, bath time, calls Mummy Pig. But what if the birds come back? asks Peppa. Don't worry, Peppa. I'll make sure the birds don't eat the seeds, says Daddy Pig. The birds come back again. Luckily, Daddy Pig is there to scare them away.
Hooray!
Shoo, shoo, naughty birds, cries Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig guards the seeds until the birds have gone to bed. He is a very good scarecrow. It is 1 week later. Peppa, George, come and look, calls Daddy Pig. The seeds have grown, says Peppa. My flowers are so pretty. And George's plant is very tall, says Daddy Pig. It's a beanstalk, cries Peppa. It goes all the way up to a giant's castle. Ho, ho, ho. No, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. It's a flower, but it does go quite high. George's flower is taller than our house, says Peppa.
Wow.
George has grown a sunflower, explains Grandpa Pig. Sunflowers are very tall plants. Well done, George, says Grandpa Pig. And well done, Daddy, says Peppa. You were a great scarecrow. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Spooky Halloween. It was Halloween, and Peppa and George were at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house. Please, can we only do spooky things today, Granny? asked Peppa. Yes, of course, replied Granny Pig. Most definitely, added Grandpa. Grandpa Pig loves Halloween. Shall we bake some spooky treats? said Granny Pig. Yes, please, cheered Peppa and George. Don't these cakes look yummy? said Grandpa Pig. They're not yummy, Grandpa, said Peppa. They're spooky. Oh, yes, very spooky, Grandpa grinned. Your house isn't very spooky, Grandpa, said Peppa. It isn't at the moment, said Grandpa Pig, showing Peppa a great big box. But let's see what we can do with these decorations. Wow, gasped Peppa. You have so many Halloween decorations. Yes, said Grandpa. We've collected a lot over the years. After they had made the house spooky, Peppa and George wanted to make themselves spooky too. They looked in Granny and Grandpa Pig's dressing box. Monster! Roar! shouted George, putting on a funny monster costume. Look at me! cackled Peppa, who was dressed as a witch. And I am the spooky vampire! said Grandpa in his best vampire voice.
Let's try on all the spooky costumes,
said Peppa excitedly.
Mummy!
Shouted George, dressing up as a mummy and falling over his bandages.
Meow!
Purred Peppa, looking just like a witch's cat.
Ticka ticka!
Said George, tickling Grandpa Pig with one of his 8 furry spider legs.
I'm rattling my bones,
said Peppa, shaking her arms and legs in a skeleton costume. Dressing up in spooky costumes was lots of fun, especially when Peppa and George both dressed up as ghosts. Boo! Shouted Peppa, jumping in front of Granny Pig.
Oh, you scared me, Ghost George,
said Granny Pig.
No, I'm Ghost Peppa, Granny. That's Ghost George over there,
said Peppa, pointing and giggling. Peppa and George decided to change one more time. George liked the skeleton costume the best, but Peppa had something else in mind.
Look at me,
said Peppa.
I'm a magical Halloween unicorn.
Well, we can't have Halloween without a magical Halloween unicorn, can we? Laughed Grandpa Pig. Granny and Grandpa Pig gave Peppa and George a big round of applause.
You're both so spooky,
said Granny Pig.
What spooky thing can we do next?
Asked Peppa.
Why don't you put on a spooky show?
Suggested Grandpa Pig.
Yes,
cried Peppa.
We can invite Mummy and Daddy and our friends to watch it. That sounds like a lot of fun,
said Granny Pig.
Spooky fun,
asked Peppa.
Oh yes, of course, Peppa. Spooky fun,
said Granny Pig, laughing. Later that afternoon, Mammy and Daddy Pig arrived at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house.
Wow, Granny and Grandpa Pig
have gone all out this year, said Mummy Pig as she knocked on the door. The door creaked open, and there stood Grandpa Pig in his costume.
Welcome to the spooky house,
he said.
I trust you have come to watch this evening's performance of the spooky show.
Yes, replied Daddy Pig, a little confused. Once all their friends had arrived,
It's time for the spooky show,
announced Peppa.
We hope you find it spooky,
cried George. Everyone in the audience clapped and cheered excitedly. Peppa and George took it in turns to dress up in the spooky costumes, jump in front of the audience and shout, "Boo!" George was a monster, and Mummy, and a furry spider, and Peppa was a black cat, a ghost, a rattly skeleton, and a cackling witch.
Ooh,
gasped their friends, giggling.
So spooky.
At the end of the show, Peppa and George jumped out in their favourite costumes.
I'm the magical Halloween unicorn and this is Skeleton George,
Peppa cried.
We hope you enjoyed our show.
Peppa and George bowed as the audience clapped.
Oh!
Cheered Danny Dog in his werewolf costume.
What a fantastic show,
said Vampire Grandpa Pig, patting Peppa and George on the back. Well done!
Now then, everyone, said Granny Pig, it's time for some spooky dancing.
Hooray! Everybody cheered, jumping up to dance to the funny, spooky music.
Did you have a fun day at Granny and Grandpa's house?
Mummy Pig asked Peppa and George on their way home.
No, Mummy, it wasn't fun, replied Peppa. It was spooktacular.
Peppa and George love Halloween. Everyone loves Halloween. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Diwali. At Playgroup, Madame Gazelle is telling the children about Diwali, the festival of light. They are all drawing pictures. Now you all have a picture to take home to your parents, she says. The next day, Peppa and George wake up to sounds in the kitchen.
We're celebrating Diwali,
says Mummy Pig. Peppa blinks at the bright kitchen light. Everybody is up early for the festival. Mommy and Daddy Pig are busy cooking. They are getting ready for the party. Later on, Granny and Grandpa Pig arrive with presents and clothes for the children.
Hello, Peppa. Hello, George,
says Granny Pig.
Are you excited about Diwali?
All over the world, families are coming together, says Grandpa Pig. This year, we wanted to join in too. Auntie and Uncle Pig ring the doorbell. The whole family has come to stay.
Hello, Chloe,
says Peppa.
Hello, baby Alexander.
Mummy Pig frowns. I hope we have got enough food. I'll peel some more potatoes, says Daddy Pig. Everyone gets changed into their special outfits from Granny and Grandpa Pig. Even baby Alexander is dressed for the occasion.
Wow, says Peppa. Everybody looks so beautiful.
Now we are all ready, says Mummy Pig. It's time to light the candles. They are called diyas.
Oh, says Peppa. Is it someone's birthday?
No, Peppa, Granny Pig chuckles.
Diwali is a celebration of light.
The diyas bring us good luck, says Grandpa Pig. Diyas shine all around the house. Peppa and her family start to eat. What a feast, says Uncle Pig. Would you like seconds? Asked Mummy Pig. Uncle Pig asked Daddy Pig to pass him a potato, but Daddy Pig has gone outside. Daddy Pig is watching the fireworks. Happy Diwali, everyone, he cries. Happy Diwali, they all say back. Peppa loves Diwali. Everyone loves Diwali. The end. Peppa Pig, Susie Sheep. This is Peppa's friend, Susie Sheep. Susie is Peppa's best friend.
This photo was taken when we were babies,
says Susie. Peppa gasped. We've been friends since the olden days. Susie likes playing doctors and nurses. Who will be our patient? Wonders Susie. I know, says Peppa. We can ask my daddy. Sometimes Peppa and Susie go camping together.
Wow.
I like sharing a tent with you, says Peppa. I like sharing a tent with you, says Susie. Peppa and Susie are both in a secret club. Can we join too? Asked Rebecca Rabbit. Yes, whispered Susie. Just say the secret words. Flubble double. Peppa has lots of fun with her friend Susie. When Susie goes away, Peppa feels a bit sad. But when Susie comes back, everything is twice as nice. Peppa loves Susie Sheep. Everyone loves Susie Sheep. The end. Peppa Pig. Piggy in the middle. When the sun is shining, it's time to play outside.
Hooray!
There is lots to do outside. Daddy Pig likes playing bat and ball. Peppa and Mummy Pig like playing Piggy in the middle.
Wow.
Catch George. And George likes riding up and down on horsey Twinkletoes. Sometimes Peppa plays outside with her friends. Candy Cat,
Meow.
Zoe Zebra, Emily Elephant, Pedro Pony, Danny Dog, and Susie Sheep. Everyone loves playing outside. The end. First words with Peppa Pig. Level 5. Tidying up. Meet Peppa, George, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig. Learn better, carry, clean, done, draw, hold, keep, kind, long, much, shall, together. Read paper, dinosaur. Peppa and George like to play together. They have so much fun. One day, they were playing dolls and dinosaurs. You hold Mr. Dinosaur and I shall hold my doll, said Peppa. Dinosaur, said George. Dolls and dinosaurs was fun, but Peppa and George soon wanted to play with lots of other toys. They made a lot of mess. Oh no! There were books to read, paper to draw on, and toys to play with all around the room. There is so much mess in this room, we had better clean up, said Daddy Pig. But we want to carry on playing together, said Peppa. The room will look much better once the cleaning is done. It will not take long, said Daddy Pig. What kind of game is this? We need to clean up this room, said Mummy Pig. But George and I want to carry on playing together, said Peppa. Hold on, Peppa, said Mummy Pig. We shall all clean up together. When it is done, we can play together. Peppa and I shall clean up Peppa's toys together. Daddy and George can carry the rest to the toy basket together, said Mummy Pig.
We will win, said Peppa.
I think it will be a draw, said Daddy Pig. They all began to clean up.
Wow.
They put all kinds of toys into the toy basket. Keep going, Peppa. Tidy all of your toys and we will be done, said Mummy Pig.
I want to win. I do not want to draw,
said Peppa. Daddy Pig found George's dinosaur book. Shall we read this together, George? He said. It is very kind of you to read to George, but you had better keep going, Daddy. We are not done yet, said Mummy Pig. Keep going, we will soon be done, said Mummy Pig. Together, they put the last toys in the toy basket. Peppa and George's race was a draw.
Hooray!
Now the room was clean and tidy. That is much better. It did not take long when we worked together, said Mummy Pig. I hope you will keep it clean for a long time, said Daddy Pig.
We shall, said Peppa. It was kind of you to help us clean up. Shall we draw on paper together now, George? Asked Peppa.
Dinosaur,
said George. Okay, we shall play dolls and dinosaurs. It is a fun kind of game. We had better find my doll and Mr. Dinosaur, said Peppa.
Peppa and George started to get all kinds of toys out of the toy basket. Hold on, said Daddy Pig. But it was too late. Ha 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 ha. You did not keep the room clean for long, said Mummy Pig.
We shall have so much fun cleaning up together again,
said Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig, the fire engine. Mummy Pig is going to the Mummy's fire engine practice. It's just a good excuse for a cup of tea and a chat, says Daddy Pig. I'm meeting with the Daddy's football team and having a barbecue. That's just a lot of grown-up boys kicking a football around, says Mummy Pig.
Mummy, can we see the fire engine?
asked Peppa.
Fire and done,
says George. Yes, Peppa, I'll take you and George, says Mummy Pig.
hooray!
Mummy Pig drives Peppa and George to Miss Rabbit's fire station.
Hello, Peppa and George, says Miss Rabbit. Come and see the fire engine. There's a ladder for climbing, says Miss Rabbit, a hose for squirting water, and a big bell to ring.
Miss Rabbit takes them into the control room to look for fires.
Wow!
Peppa spots a red phone and picks it up.
Peppa, that's the fire phone, says Miss Rabbit. It's only to be used when there's a fire.
Peppa puts the phone down. Suddenly the red phone rings. Miss Rabbit panics. Fire station, where's the fire? Says Miss Rabbit. Can I talk to Mummy Pig, please? Asked Daddy Pig. It's an emergency. I can't find the tomato ketchup anywhere. Miss Rabbit puts the phone down. How many fires have you actually put out, Miss Rabbit? Asked Mummy Pig. None, replies Miss Rabbit. Not one fire, but you've got to be ready. The red phone rings again. Hello, Daddy Pig, says Miss Rabbit. This phone is only to be used when there's a...
Fire! Shouts Daddy Pig.
Oh no!
Oh dear, Daddy Pig's barbecue is on fire. Mummies to the rescue, says Miss Rabbit. Miss Rabbit slides down the pole to the fire engine. All the mummies slide down the pole. Peppa and George hold tight and slide down the pole too. They all get into the fire engine. Miss Rabbit puts on the siren and drives them to Peppa's house. The fire engine arrives at Peppa's house. Stand back, daddies, shouts Miss Rabbit. Mummy Pig and Mummy Sheep hose down the barbecue. The fire is out.
Hooray!
Thank you for saving us, Miss Rabbit, says Daddy Pig. No problem, it's all part of the service, says Miss Rabbit. The Mummy's fire engine service, says Mummy Pig. And now that Miss Rabbit has kindly flooded our garden, says Daddy Pig, we can all jump up and down in muddy puddles. I love fire engines, says Peppa, especially when they make muddy puddles. The end. Peppa Pig, the Time Capsule. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. They are making a time capsule to show people in the future how they live. We'll put special things in this box and bury it, says Madame Gazelle. Will it grow? asks Susie Sheep. No, Susie, it will remain in the ground for many years, says Madame Gazelle. Now, children, what things should we put inside? asks Madame Gazelle. A comic, says Peppa. Music, says Susie. A toy, says Danny Dog. A carrot, says Rebecca Rabbit. What do you think the future will be like? asked Madame Gazelle. I think the future I will live on the moon, says Peppa, and all my friends will come to visit. I will fly a space rocket, adds Danny. The parents come to pick the children up. Daddy Pig, you're just in time to help us dig a hole, says Madame Gazelle.
Hooray!
Everyone goes outside to bury the time capsule. Daddy Pig buries the time capsule. When can we dig it up? asked Peppa. It will remain in the ground for many years, says Madame Gazelle. I can't wait that long, says Peppa impatiently. Madame Gazelle laughs. You're just like your daddy when he was little. Your parents made a time capsule when they were little too, says Madame Gazelle. We buried it over here. I thought it was a much smaller tree, says Daddy Pig. The tree has grown since then, replies Madame Gazelle. Daddy Pig digs up the old time capsule. When they get back inside, it's time to open the old time capsule.
Hooray!
Stand back, children, says Madame Gazelle. Yes, Madame Gazelle, everyone replies. What do we have here? Says Madame Gazelle. An old comic, a tin toy, music, and a very old carrot.
Wow!
That's mine, says Mummy Rabbit. What a good choice, Mummy, says Rebecca. And a videotape of your parents when they were little, says Madame Gazelle. Who's the little piggy in the glasses? asks Peppa. That's Daddy Pig, replies Mummy Pig. Oh, and that's me. Hello, Victor, says little Daddy Pig. What a squeaky little voice you have, says Peppa, laughing. You're probably living on the moon now, says little Daddy Pig. Silly little Daddy Pig, says Peppa. Making time capsules is lots of fun, but finding them is even better. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.